Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here today with the Xbox One version of Far Cry 4, the most recent entry in what has become a rather big franchise, actually, a rather big series. Far Cry has come a long way from its original existence, the original Far Cry, the game that sort of blew us away for the first time on CryEngine and introduced a sort of genetically modified super soldier. We're quite a bit of ways away from that whole storyline and mumbo-jumbo, but Far Cry 4 is here, and it is very much a continuation in many ways of what Far Cry 3 established in terms of mechanics and gameplay. At the same time, though, Far Cry 4 goes a little bit further than 3. They've actually managed to tweak a bunch of returning mechanics. They've added more detail to the game than I ever thought I would see in a AAA title these days. A lot of AAA releases just they leave you wanting more in terms of the finer things, you know, the details. Games are so focused on selling you on this really big, you know, main point, like our world is huge, like The Crew. Our world is massive, and then everything else in between and every little nook and cranny hasn't been caressed, it hasn't been touched by a game designer. It's just been left blank due to time constraints. Far Cry 4 doesn't feel like that. The amount of detail that goes into all the smaller mechanics in Far Cry 4, for me, is what has made it such a special experience thus far. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a pretty big chunk of time just playing the game, because I think that is the best way to demonstrate to you guys, who of course are interested in whether or not you should be playing this, that Far Cry 4 is in fact one of the best games I've played this year thus far. It really is good. I mean, this and Dragon Age have my time tied up hardcore. Two massively open world games with way too much stuff to do, and I can't seem to take my hands off of either of them. So we're gonna get a little gyrocopter here, which is now about to stall because I've went too high, and you get a brief example of the map, which is massive. The world of Kyrat is colossal, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit later because it's not just big, it is extremely well made, it's extremely well crafted, it's one of the most believable, and for me, just living worlds that I've played in a very long time. I like being in Kyrat. I like wandering around, climbing the mountains. I feel like I'm there. As corny as it is to say that, it does this big open world better than any game I've seen in a very, very long time. I put it up there with Skyrim and Fallout for me. Games that I find to have very interesting worlds. However, what we're going to do is, eventually we want to make it to this outpost right here, which is the Kyrat Tea Terraces, because I like tea. So the first primary goal that I have is to take back all of the outposts that have control of any tea, because I can't imagine what Pagan is doing to some of the most amazing oolongs and black teas that we probably have in this area. So before that though, we're gonna go check out Army Supply Flight 2707. Now I actually made my way up here a while back in the game, and I thought that this small piece of land in this vast wilderness of Kyrat was a prime example of how well exploration and rewarding the player for doing things other than what the game tells you to do. It's a really good example of that, of just how well that is all done. So let's make our way over there. Hopefully we don't stall. Okay, we're good. Oh, wait, we're going down. So this little thing is just uncontrollable. Yeah, it decides to stall when you go too high, and when you go too fast, when you go too slow. It's a little tiny crappy gyrocopter that has blue duct tape on it, so you can't expect it to be the most effective and useful tool you've ever seen, but there is, the base of the mountain is right over here. Actually, we're going to land at one of these small outposts, which again is an unexplored area that I've actually discovered. There are a lot of those question marks on the map. They tell you where to go. I kind of would have liked for them to be a little bit more random. Maybe some of them are. It hasn't been something that I've paid too much attention to be honest, but let's go ahead and land there. And let's make our way up the mountain here. So, of course, one of the new mechanics in the game is using the grappling to actually climb mountains. Climbing in general is a big portion of the game. It's something that you're introduced to very early on, and is almost a necessity, but it really does make up a solid portion of the gameplay experience. It is really, really great. Ignore that. My batteries are fine. You don't know what you're talking about, Xbox. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of a controller malfunction. Let's get back to this. So like I was saying, the climbing is, it's not just a big part of the core gameplay that they sort of throw in your face right away. It is also something that I find really satisfying, because it leads you to interesting places in Kyrat that aren't directed. You know, you don't have to go to these places. They're purely there for the player's enjoyment and, you know, extra reward, I guess you would say. Let's make our way up this mountain. See what's on top. I mean, I know that the plane crash is there, so let's go check it out. speaking of the world being a little bit alive, the two main forces here, you know, we have Pagan Min's forces, and then we also have the our friendlies here. They're always going at it, and these are called karma events. So if we actually hunted down that situation, and you know saw what was going on there, we could sort of get an idea of where the fights are taking place between the two factions, and we could also assist them, and it would just be beneficial to us. We get more karma, which just makes us look better with the people. I haven't really got to see too much more of how that system works. It's something I'm still diving into. That's why I wanted to just do this playthrough, show you guys the game, because this is another one of those games, just like Dragon Age, that's going to take me forever to get a first impressions out from. Oh man, that was sketchy. Because the game is really just that massive. It looks like we actually got conflict going on up here near the plane crash. So this is where the fight's going on. So let's see if we can go help these guys out, score us some karma points, and secure this crashed plane. Alright, looks like we managed to help these guys out. So even just going into the situation and eliminating one target is gonna help you score those karma points. That's all you need to do. Let's just make sure the area is clear for these guys. They seem to be alright. They're kind of celebrating up here, so... It looks like we might have been a little bit too late on that one, actually. We didn't grab the karma points from that, so... It could be the fact that there's only one guy left. He sadly is all alone. We got some body armor, though. And of course, if we wanted to, we could go ahead and take the hang glider, which was something that was in Far Cry 3, which is just a great experience. The small elements that this game has always had, like that and the wingsuit, always fun to mess around with. They're never dull. So let's go ahead and double check our map real quick, make sure, let's see what direction we're going in. So we have another unknown location, which is very close to the Kyrat T terraces. So I think what we'll do is we'll head up this mountain a little bit more, and then we'll wingsuit our way down to this unknown location. And we'll see what we can find there before we go ahead and take back that outpost. This is sketchy. Here we go. It feels special. It doesn't feel like a trivial mechanic in the game. You know, it does actually feel pretty special. I enjoy it quite a bit. And you can see there was a chest that I looted previously when I was up here. And we could just keep following these cliffs if we wanted to forever. I mean, you know, as far as they go. Let's go a little bit further up here, though. We'll jump off the base of the mountain up there. Got a gap to jump. Come on, AJ. You're good. You're good, man. Alright, let's make our way up. And I think the big thing for Far Cry is the fact that without all of these small introductions to Far Cry 4, it would be a lot like Far Cry 3. And that was actually my concern when the game was coming out. I was going to say, oh, you know, you saw the outpost and, you know, like all the stuff that we'd already done so many times before in Far Cry 3 that I was like, you know, what else are they going to do? You know, great, it's a new place. It's, you know, an interesting story, but I want some mechanics, something to just make the experience a little bit more. And then you can give me more content, you know, and I'll be able to enjoy that extra content. And I think they're at the point where I don't want them to stop, you know, adding cool stuff to the game, but I like what they have here, and I would like to just be able to play more of this when I'm done with it. But I guess it's kind of early to say. We'll see how I feel when I actually finish the game or get close to it. But let's go ahead and do this thing. Wingsuit deployed. So the wingsuit is something you can purchase early on, and to me it was just like a no-brainer. It wasn't even about like I want to earn it. I just want it. Give it to me right now. So I grabbed it. Let's go ahead and open our parachute and make our way down. And of course, while we are in our parachute, we can shoot people, because that's one of the themes, I think, of Far Cry 4 is not restricting the player when they're as much as possible. You know, avoid restricting the player. Can we let them shoot when they're in vehicles with one-handed weapons? Sure, why not? You know, that's why they put the auto drive mechanic in the game, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Let's make our way over here and see what this unexplored area is, though. Looks like we got some rhinos. Of course, wildlife being one of the really big highlights of Far Cry 4, even more so than 3. It seems like the prey, the predators that you have to deal with, are even more vicious than ever, and the water actually has a relatively interesting fish called the Alligator Gar, who if you watch any Jeremy Wade and River Monsters, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm actually going to kind of look around for one because I don't want to get in the water with one of those. They will mess you up. So, just a little bit of money. Sadly, my inventory is getting rather full. I needed to spend some time crafting. That's one of the mechanics that also returns from 3, and is relatively the same for the most part. If we go into our crafting menu here, you'll see that we basically use pelts and things like that to expand our inventory slots. So, get more heavy ammo, carry more money, you know, have another weapon. We can have 3 weapons in total, 4 weapons in total, quiver, ammo bag, all that stuff, again, returning from Far Cry 3. So let's go ahead and check the map. That was just a small little discovery zone there, nothing super special. But you can see we've now marked it, and it is the Watery Grave. Nearby, though, there is a mask of Yalong, which is one of the many side quests that you can do, collection quests, I guess you would call them. There's a ton of these in the game, and if you're into sort of 100%ing the game, that's something you're obviously going to want to focus on. Let's go ahead and go to that waypoint, but first, we're going to make our way up to that vehicle, actually, which is on the way there, luckily. So I want to show a little bit of what they've done with the vehicles, you know, in terms of shooting from them, auto drive, and also one very nice touch that has been added to the game that put a huge smile on my face when I noticed it was here. So let's find this car. Oh wait, hold on a second. We got a convoy coming down. I think they've spotted us, but boom! That's what's up, man. Look at the wheels everywhere. Oh my god, that was so good. Far Cry 4, ladies and gentlemen. Need I say more? Alright. So those are all over the place. You can actually hijack them and return them to the Golden Sun if you would like to do so. I hear a hawk nearby, which is not good, but let's go ahead. This is the skill tree. It's based into 2 sections. We have the tiger and the elephant. The tiger basically being damage benefits, and the elephant being defensive benefits. Some cost more than others, and basically the way the tree works is you work from the inside out. So once you gain an ability on the inside, you can start to unlock the abilities on the outside. And some of them are locked by quests. For example, cover takedown here is part of the Eye for an Eye quest, so you have to actually complete one of those just to unlock it. We're gonna go ahead and save our points though. We only have 1 right now, and I'm not too concerned with any of these just yet. I got my health increased a little bit. That's been beneficial. Oh, you know what? The one thing I did want to grab is we can actually increase how much. Okay, there it is. So it's 2 points, increasing our health syringe. Because right now it only takes 2 slots. So when you're in like the thick of combat, having to burn 2 syringes or 1 syringe and then bandage yourself really does suck. We could ride elephants. For some reason, I'm actually not that interested in riding elephants. I know a lot of people probably hate me for that one, but you guys probably won't actually even see that in this video. Uh-oh. Oh, we got another one behind us. Prime example of how much wildlife can be a boon.
It's been a while since Pagan's men were denied anything. Let that truck you destroyed be the start of a new age for Kyrat.
Ow. This is not going well. Even a tiny dog can really make you have a bad day. Oh man. Now imagine running into a mountain lion. I've done that already. They suck. Well, like I said, the wildlife really is a big focus of the game. And it's not just on the ground. It's in the water. It's in the sky. Hawks are an absolute nightmare. You'll see people running and cowering from them because they mess you up, man. They really mess you up. Alright. We finally made it to this outpost. So let's start to get a... Speaking of hawks... Let's try and get a bead on this whole place and see what we can discover. I think we're going to push a little bit further out to the left. We've got an elephant over here that if we had the ability to ride, we could use to our benefit, but... Looks like we've got the front gate right here. Little tuk-tuk. Got a couple off to the left. Is that one guy? Maybe two. Maybe 2. There's the second. We can see the speaker system, which returns from previous outposts in Far Cry 3. Of course, if that gets set off, there are going to be reinforcements coming in your stealth playthrough. of that outpost is going to turn into a... It's going to turn into a Schwarzenegger film is what it's going to turn into. Perhaps Bruce Willis, however you want to look at it. So this guy actually has a hostage. We've got a vehicle coming down the road behind us, though. We're going to go ahead and try and drop this guy. Target down. Hostage has been secured. That should be roughly 80 meters. I'm still trying to get used to this, if I'm honest. That's it for arrows. We're all out there. Alright, looks like this is going to turn into an assault playthrough. If we can't get low anyways and try and recover from this. That's one arrow we can get off this guy's body. We could use that to sort of start tagging all these guys, but we're kind of exposed here. Alright, so we got one arrow back. Let's free this hostage. I doubt he'll help us, but that would be nice. Pick up a gun, start shooting things, man. We could use your help here. I would really like to drop that guy on the tower up there. That's a miss. I don't know the range on that. I've just put that sight on that bow, and that's one of the things you have to learn with the bow and arrow. It can be super effective if you know how to judge the range, just like in real life. So here's the new plan. Let's check the map quickly. Do we have any vehicles in the vicinity? No, nothing behind us. They're all sort of in front. Alright, let's push our way around the right here, carefully. Alright, we're going in. We don't want him to hit that alarm. And they hit it anyways. I thought that grenade would have stopped him. We're gonna have a rough day. Great. Ah, he saw it. Like I said, the stealth playthrough turned into an action playthrough. Luckily that elephant is pretty pissed off though. You'll notice we do have a first-person cover mechanic that allows us to blind fire and also peek over cover just by using left trigger to aim down sights. We've liberated the T terraces. Very excited about that. Looking forward to some of those fine Ts. So that was one of the easier outposts actually. They do become increasingly difficult, and of course we also have these giant fortresses that are sort of controlled by different members of Pagan Min's faction. So some of them, for example, this one is by Norrace. We've got Lepures, however you want to say it, bastardly name, Deplores, and then we also have like Yuma up here. So those are sort of like ultra outposts, but we've captured this one, which means we can use this as a fast travel point. Of course, there's some missions here. We've actually looks like we've just finally unlocked the assassinations. Actually kind of excited about those because I think those will be some good cash, and they're also going to be a good way to get some of those skill points that we were looking for. Don't want to do that. So what I want to do before we go ahead and continue here is I want to grab one of these vehicles and showcase the auto drive feature for you guys. What auto drive does is you basically can click the left stick in and the vehicle will start to automatically drive down the road. You know, AJ will just go about driving. This is really just focus. The point of this is to allow you to engage in vehicle-to-vehicle engagements, whether it be with a weapon or to actually climb out of this vehicle onto an enemy's vehicle during a car chase and take them out. It's like the best way of doing what would have been done all with QuickTime events that I've ever seen in a game. It's so intelligent. It's like, yes, this works. You can also check, set waypoints on the map, and auto drive will actually follow those waypoints. And you can sort of manipulate auto drive as well, so you don't have to, you can kind of like adjust it, say you're about to crash and the AI is not going to take you where you want to go. You can sort of, you know, change direction really quickly. And you can turn it back on, back off, you know, however you want to do it. So it is a very, very nice implementation to have in the game. And as you can see, we can fire a revolver right from the window here. These are friendlies though, so we don't want to shoot them. Let's turn around this way. Let's go check out this waterfall here. I want to do a little bit of exploring. Now, of course, that was just one of the small things. You have the outpost. There's missions that you can do for the different characters on your side. You have, you know, sort of the three main story characters. Then you also have people like Longitus, who is the weapons guy this time around. What is going on up there? Somebody's got a flamethrower or something. If there's a flamethrower, I want in. That's all I gotta say. So let's make our way into this. Oh, that is a really nice river. I'll have to go back and take a screenshot of that sometime. Alright, let's save these guys. And maybe we'll get a flamethrower. Because, of course, not only can you buy weapons and unlock them, we are out of ammunition for everything here. They might just be throwing Molotovs, which we're going to do as well. Hey, they already set themselves on fire. We're going to continue it. So this is one thing that was introduced in Far Cry 3 that I'm really glad to see has maintained, has stayed in the series, which is the fact that the environment can be set aflame and torched. And you can use it to your advantage, and it can also be used to your disadvantage here, so glad to see it still hanging around. Let's make our way back to the truck now, though. What I want to do, run over here, is there's one little small thing I want to show you guys. I mean, there's so much to show in this game. To actually just showcase it all, it would take forever. But let's go ahead and... Oh man, we got more conflict, or they're just cheering. There's just always some sort of conflict going on in this game. I guess that's the point of a place that is essentially a war zone, though, right? Alright, back to the car. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna park it on a hill and leave it unattended, because we forgot about it. Hello, hello. Now, we're going to go ahead and release the brakes on the car. Bye! So you can see how you could start to experiment with this. Maybe attach some C4 to the vehicle and let it roll down into an enemy outpost. I mean, that's really one way to make an entrance. Or perhaps just let it roll down the hill and run some people over. It was just such a small thing that I noticed when I started playing the game. It popped up and I said, wait, what did that just say? I can release the brakes on this thing? And I got really excited about it, and to be honest, it's an example of what I was trying to showcase in this game, where you have all of these small, detailed game mechanics that they don't need to be there. There was no reason for them to really focus on putting them in the game, but you know what? I'm really, really happy they're there, because they definitely add to the experience. And I didn't mean to do that. I have no arrows, but let's just go ahead and drop these guys, because I don't like the fact that they exist. Oh, you know what? Throwing knives are hard to use when you don't play with the crosshair. I'll take the 4th shot headshot. Maybe we can grab some ammunition off these guys. So the best way I can talk about Far Cry 4 so far, having not really played too much more of the story, you know, was what I felt to do was to showcase the open world elements. You know, and talk about all the smaller mechanics that sort of, you know, hold the game together. That for me make it one of the best experiences I've had all year, and I'm only 4 hours in. I mean, the fact is that just playing the game, not the missions, not the story, not even the outpost, is a lot of fun. And Kyrat is a really, really great place to be. And I haven't killed a rhino yet, now that I think of it. They're really hard to kill, so I'm not going to mess with them, but just a small tip. Don't drive past rhinos in cars. They don't like cars. Ugh, I didn't really want to get in that fight. I kind of wanted to end it there, but okay. That's been a small look at Far Cry 4, guys. Honestly, there is so much of this game that I could just continue to show you more and more and more. And much like Dragon Age, I plan on doing that on the channel. So many games to cover lately that I've been making a lot of content, and so you guys may see videos going up every day instead of every other day. There's still stuff going up on the Call of Duty channel if you guys are interested in Call of Duty over there. A lot of stuff being played over there. There's a lot of games that I've been playing that are just really good, and I want to share them with you guys without pissing off rhinos. Let's run this way. So we're going to do another look at Far Cry 4. We're probably going to play a couple more. Maybe we'll do some of the advanced outposts, the fortresses, when I get to them, because I think they make for very interesting commentary and really great gameplay as well. And then, of course, maybe probably a month or two down the line, we'll finally have played enough of this game where I'll feel comfortable doing a first impressions, maybe in a couple weeks or a couple days. Really depends how much time I have to play the game. And we'll be able to get the first impression out for this, as well as for Dragon Age. The last thing that I'm going to want to show you guys for Far Cry, though, coming up very soon, is the multiplayer component of the game, which took me completely by surprise. I knew nothing about it, and you know what? Damn Ubisoft. Whoever, the guys at your development team, well done, man. You know, it could have just been a generic piece of crap Call of Duty recreation, and you took some initiative and you tried to make something a little bit creative. Is it going to be something that people play every day? I really don't know, but I'm definitely looking forward to sharing it with you guys. And we have another prime example of Far Cry at its best. I'm going to go ahead and run from this because I definitely cannot deal with this right now. Let me know what you guys think of Far Cry 4 in the comment section below. You're deciding to pick it up. Can your PC not run it? Are you going to grab it on the console? Let me know everything and more that you have to say about the game in the comment section below. And I'll see you in Kyrat.